Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloyim, Aranava Yahweh, Vashem Shamalak Yahushai, Vashem Kakadash, some honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, peace, citation, hope for elect. Hapayah Shamalak Dawadah, the house of King David, entered a fusion of faces that look like these heathen nations, but their identity goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the royal holy children, sea line, Shalom. Okay, title of this video is going to be might title it Esau is the false accuser of our brethren. And the scriptures go into saying that how, that you shouldn't really accuse, you shouldn't bear false witness or false accuse people. And that's all these Edomites been doing ever since we was in captivity under them. And I forgot there was a little boy named he was one of the first, I think he was one of the first Jakes, like from the Southern Kingdom, like one of the first Judites to get put on the on an electric chair at a real young age, because he was I'm like I don't understand how can he be thought of to, like, to rape a little white girl. And I forgot the name of the movie, but it was during the time of segregation. And it was a white jury, but I think his name was George Stinney, if I'm correct. Yeah. And he was no, he was accused of murdering two girls or whatever. So, and I just really find something like that just really horrible, like how Esau could really find a way to just falsely accuse our people of doing something that they did not even do, and they get away with it, but let me see. And it says right here, black man accused of stealing his own car as he cleans out glove box. Slovakia. A black man was accused of stealing his own car in Bristol after a white woman claimed he looked as if he was rifling through the glove box. Abdi Kier had not been cleaning up his Ford Fiesta before its MOT test when the woman approached him in the road and asked for his car's registration number. He then began filming their exchange, later stating that he was concerned she was going to call the police. And mind you, this happened on Sunday, 23rd August 2020 in the at 10:21 p.m. it was reported. But so this was recent. This was this year. And as the years go by, you're starting to see these devils show their true horns. Yep. The Lord is exposing Esau, making Esau bare, making Esau naked, exposing all his wickedness. Yep. And it says in the clip, he can be heard saying, "This white lady thinks I'm robbing my own car because I'm black." The woman then asked for his registration number again before telling him, "It looks like you're rifling through someone's glove box." Mr. Kier, a university student, tells the woman to call the police as he accused her of being racist. She then denies it, replying, "I might do. Don't be so aggressive. Everything comes down to race, doesn't it?" He recites his registration number, calls on her to respond. Brilliantly lovely. He then repeatedly tells her to get out of here and fuck off, as she starts claiming there is lots of car crime in the area. Wow. She then walked away with her bike, only to return again to apologize to Mr. Kier and say they should be mates after he told her he lived nearby. In a separate clip, he can be heard saying, "You assume I am robbing on my car because of my color. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you." Mr. Kier, who works at a supermarket alongside his degree, said he had seen 3 couples walk past him. Before the woman stopped and stared, he left Bristol live. I asked her if she was alright, but she said nothing, which I thought was a bit weird. I'd never seen her before. I went back to sorting the documents, and then all of a sudden I heard her behind me asking for my registration number. She asked me what it was a few times, and that's when I decided to get my phone out and start recording her in case she called the police and told them I said something I hadn't. Why did she think I looked suspicious when 3 couples who walked past me before her didn't? He went on. She had no right coming up to me when I was just minding my own business and racially profiling me like that. Is she genuinely concerned? She was genuinely concerned that I was robbing a car. Would she really have come up that close to talk to me? It's exactly. See? They just want to start some shit and fuck with people. Mostly our people. That's what they do. Surely she would have kept her distance and called the police from far away if she thought I was someone who would try to rob a car in broad daylight. Mr. Kiera has lived in the area of Bristol for 10 years, describing it was so quiet with really friendly people. He said he had not been aware of any car crime and believes the woman only made those comments after realizing he owned his vehicle. Yeah, because they don't want to see us with these type of things. They get jealous. According to police.uk data, the area had 5 instances of vehicle crime in June 2020, while there were 214 instances reported within the same boundary in the past 12 months. That amounts to 5.9% of crime reported in the area that year. Mr. Kier videos have now been watched by hundreds of thousands of people after he uploads them to Twitter. He believes the woman 100% would not have questioned him if he had a white middle-aged man instead of a young black guy in a tracksuit. He continued, when she left, I was in shock for a good 10 minutes. I was really young when I encountered racism and didn't really understand it. But this time I was so shocked. After I composed myself, I messaged the video to my friend and they said I should upload it to raise awareness. Some of the comments have been really unpleasant, but you're always going to get them, sadly. Wow. So, and you see, that's the thing about this, this world that we live in. No matter what you do, sometimes you always have a Edomite just lurking on the side, trying to be a devil, trying to fuck your day up. You know. But let me go into some scriptures. And it says in the scriptures, in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, it says, "This know also that in last days perilous time shall come." And after it says, "For men shall be lovers of themselves," after it says all that, going into where it says verse 3, "Without natural affection, truce bakers, false accusers, yep, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of Yahweh." Yep. And you see, and the main word I want to get out of that is the false accusers, and you realize that's Esau. You see how these Edomites, they just say that you could do anything, like, and when they see you doing something, they just want to say you're doing something wicked. They want to call police because you're just minding your business. They just want to try to find some way, somehow, to fuck with somebody. So it's some Jake, just to get that Jake in trouble. And the scripture that comes to my mind, all right, Slovakia. It says in Exodus 20:16, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Exodus 23 verse 1, thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. Deuteronomy 5:20. And Deuteronomy 19:16, if a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges which shall be in those days. And but let me just get to the most important parts. It says it's like Proverbs 6:19, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And that's Esau right there. It says a heart in verse 18, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief. Those are all actions of Esau, man. Esau will do stuff like that, especially to our own people, you know. And the Lord tell you not to do that. And it says this, Slovakia, not false accuser, but it says in Revelation 12:10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation. Now is come salvation and strength, the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And who's that talking about? That's talking about Esau. How many accusations do you see, of Jake being posted on the news? How many times do you see Jake being allegedly accused of doing this and that? How many times do you see on death row that they've been accused of doing certain things? How many times have you seen our people be put on trial just for doing, just for being claimed that they did a crime that they never even did in their life? They were just around the area, probably at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they were accused for doing a crime. And then here you have it where there's certain pictures of certain Jakes that look like that don't look like the suspect. They don't look like the criminal. They don't look like the picture. They completely don't match the picture. And then you have cops that say that you have these fucking Edomites that want to say that they match the description, and they clearly don't match the description. So now you know that's some bullshit, and I've seen something like that on the Advice show. That brother he changed it to African diaspora. That brother Phil, and he made a video about that. You know, he went in on that, and I was like, wow, that was just really insane. You know, and they just doing that shit just to really show how racist they are, and they acting like they're not doing it to be racist. Because anybody that will see a photo like that would know that the person that just got attacked did not match the description of that person that y'all claiming y'all trying to find that did the crime. So, you know, and the Lord, I mean, he did said that in the scripture that you're not supposed to bear false witness, you know, against thy neighbor. You know, it says it right here. And it says a man that beareth false witness against his neighbor in Proverbs 25:18 is a maul and a sword and a sharp arrow. Yep. And then you really see why it tells you in the book of Psalms that Esau's words, they sound like they're smooth and sound like oil and butter, but yet they draw swords. Because he's a false accuser. Next thing this man said we got COVID-19. This man said we're 4 times as likely to have COVID. And he's saying that in poor communities, that's where, because they have so much, there's so much pollution around those areas. So he's making, he's making like strong excuses and trying to act, trying to play the narrative like if he's the Most High, trying to play the narrative like he's the protagonist. So, you know, Esau's really gonna pay for that, and that's why the Lord have cut off Esau's, and he cut them off from the covenant. They weren't part of it. You know, they were never part of it at all. He didn't keep the laws and the commandments. You know, and what he did against Jacob over the time in his rulership and over the time in the course of history, Esau is just proven to be the devil. So these people are not blessed. These people are cursed. And you see, that's the reason why they hate our people so damn much. So, yeah, hope I made the lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Hashem, Shalom, Laki, Abashai, Hashem, Kakadash, the honors, apostles, and elders, great millstone, peace, they teach the hope for elect. Yahweh, Hashem, Shalom, Shalom, Arawami, Baba, Shalom.